Alright, gang. Hide Wars episode XX. I don't even know the episode number. We call it XX. Like in, things happen in 19XX. Like if you're playing Earthbound, you don't know what year it is. It's vaguely in the future. I want to talk about the single most important thing. Oh, it's time. Single most important thing. All my wisdom. All of it. The most important thing in this life is to be red-pilled and to own the shit out of libtards. Listen. I saw a woman wearing a shirt, had a happy little face on it. I said, guess what, bitch? There's only two genders. Alright, the single most important thing. That's a resilient ass bottle. Right there. Single most important thing in life is to be MGTOW, never trust a bitch. Always be on the defensive with a bitch. Because she's a dog. You shouldn't even try to have sex, just whack it.
No.
This girl was like, this the other day, this girl was like, hey Sam, you're like a really nice guy and I really like what you do, your videos and stuff. Do you want to hang out sometime? Why? So you can steal all my money? Bitch, MGTOW! Alright, the single most important thing in life, okay? Single most important thing in life, enough with the jokes here, is to be alpha and absolutely crush pussy all the dudes all day. To be alpha, crush pussy all day, get cunt and slit, and just tear up crease all day long. And who gives a fuck what a bitch thinks? Single most important lesson in life, be alpha at all times. Do you want to be a beta cuck, or do you want to be an alpha legend? Like myself. A lion. This is life's most important lesson. Listen, don't be a beta cuck. This is serious. Single most important thing in life is to always be striving, always be questioning. What lies beyond? What's the most profound thing I could do at this moment? Alright, team. Cyberpunk Future is here. Okay, Google. Play Shadowrun SNES soundtrack. Because I'm going on a hacking run. Play Shadowrun soundtrack on YouTube. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. Play Shadowrun soundtrack on YouTube. Okay, Google! Walking directions, biking directions.
Sure, playing the album Shadowrun, Hong Kong original soundtrack on YouTube.
And it's that easy. Guys, the future's here. Google Pixel XL does me right every time. That's why I put a jewel on it. Now, that's actually not what I wanted. I wanted the SNES version. Play. And it's that easy. Oh, it only took 3 minutes, but this is someone's remake. That's also not what I wanted. This is a heavy metal cover. Alright, so it's going to play this for 1 minute and then it's going to start playing some other crap. Which is not what I want. This is the Genesis version. This is not what I wanted. Okay, the Chrono Trigger. We'll settle for the Chrono Trigger theme. We okay Googled it. We wanted the SNES. Well, see, now I okay Googled it, but it's asking me to input my pattern. Couldn't recognize the voice. Voice lock disabled. So we wanted the soundtrack to Shadowrun SNES, but we're getting Chrono Trigger. And that's fine. You know, I'm not that picky. I'm willing to deal with that. I wanted to talk about something. This is going to be a short one, okay? But it's important. And by short, it might be going to 45-minute territory. What I want to talk about skill. I want to talk about competency. I made a video called Time Wasters Inc., which was, you know, unfairly, people who offer help. This is a thing that happens to me. It probably happens to a lot of people who are doing things out there in the world. You get people who come along, they offer you help, they say, I'll do this for you, I'll do that for you, and then you spend you spend a solid hour on emails and sending them materials and stuff like that and specs for what you want. And even if it's a paid thing, and then they just sort of flake out and disappear, and nothing ever comes of it. And that kind of sucks. That's not good to have your time wasted like that. I do hugely appreciate the help that I do get. I'm not going to be a complainer, okay? I'm not going to jump into that. But we got to talk about something. This is very serious. This is a very serious issue. I got an email from a dude. He said, can you critique my music? And I'm looking for music for this video game. So I said, sure. Took a look at it. And it was really, really bad. There were a few kind of okay ideas in there that were like, you know, things that he had seen, things that he was attempting to sort of mimic. Some like synthwave stuff. Some popular SoundCloud sounds thrown in the mix there, and he put his own little personal twist on them. Some noise, some static, some shit like that. But overall, it was pretty bad. I said, it's cool, man. I'll use it. I'll definitely use this. This is awesome. Love it. Talk to you later. By the way, how old are you? I was expecting, if he had said 14, I would have been like, all right, this is for a 14-year-old. It's not the worst thing in the world. He said he's 27. Dude, by the time you're 27, 28, you are supposed to have your, like, vision of the world and how you want to affect it. Like, that is supposed to be mostly realized by that age. That's the age at which you're supposed to, your training is done, your skill building is done, you're supposed to be taking your hammer and striking the face of reality until it looks more like what you want it to look like. That's like when you in the RPG, when you're no longer attacking slimes and kobolds and gremlins, and you're actually going into the dwarven palace now, and you got to go get your armor and your weapons that are like good, like mid-game. All right, that's mid-game. Dude, this is mid-game, all right? You're supposed to be done, with the healing salve and you're supposed to have your ultimate, level 1. By age 27, 28, you need to have your level 1 ultimate, and you need to be going into battles and casting your ultimate, supporting your buddies who also should have their ultimate, all right? 28, age 28, or as I call it, level 28, is when you're supposed to have enough money for, well, you don't quite have the AWP yet. You don't quite have the AWP. You should have fucking an M4. So this dude, he sends me his, I'm like, this is cool, man. Thanks for sending it. And he sends me a link to his like art portfolio and his films that he's made, and his he's done everything. Like, he's messed around with game design, and it's all like toddler shit. Like, it's stuff you'd expect to see out of a 14-year-old. Now listen, I don't think I'm some great person, or I'm not haranguing on people for not being good at shit. I'm not an elitist, okay? I don't think my shit's all that great. All right, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I don't have some self-deprecating, who's that comedian Martin? Dimitri Martin. I'm not Dimitri Martin over here. Oh, everything I do sucks. No, I think there's merit in the stuff I've done. I like it, but I'm not like my art is the best. There can be no competing art. Like I think there's there's stuff out there that's way better than mine. I don't have a fucking issue with it. But fucking God, man, by age 27, age 28. You should not be a dabbler. Look up G.I. Joe Fensler films. There's one where a guy he pulls his car over and gives this kid advice. He says, look up Fensler films, G.I. Joe. Look that up on YouTube right now and then come back to me. All right, get back to me on this one. I'll talk to you about this later. All right, it's later now. You already watched that G.I. Joe Fensler films. There's one where the guy pulls up to this kid at the side of the road and he's giving him advice. He tells him when he goes to the arcade, don't play a bunch of games messing around. You pick one game that you're good at, one, and you get good at it. This is something you need more than really anything else. Listen, if you've got a serious porn problem, if you're taking Xanax, if you're an alcoholic, if you're a hype beast and you're always picking up drops, the latest drops from fashion, I don't care, whatever. If you've got some fucking issues, whatever, all right, you'll work that out. That's something you'll get over. You'll be fine. But if you are not competent at something, if you're not like really competent at something, if you're not really good at something, if there's nothing that you can't point to and say, I'm fucking good at that, and it doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if you, honestly, if you work at a cell phone store and you know about cell phones and you know about the plans, dude, good for you, man. If you are if you've started a car detailing business, if you are good at landscaping, whatever the fuck it is, good for you, man. Good job. But if you are 28 and you're fucking around and you're just testing the waters you're still fucking I think today I'll make perler beads. I'll make a Link tribute, Legend of Zelda tribute poster. I'll just do this. That's the age where you need to really light a fire under your ass, because the clock is ticking, and pretty soon you're going to be worthless. Pretty soon it's going to be too late. I really do not encourage people to take the artistic path. All right, this is not. You might get this impression of me oh, he thinks he's so cool because he makes YouTube videos. No, I think making YouTube videos is a piss poor way to spend your time. I really don't think there's me personally, the work that I do, I have a very blue collar approach to it. Okay, I do I wake up in the morning, I go get coffee, and then I sit down and I think about it making the donuts. You gotta just crank away at it and treat it like a blue collar job. That's how I feel about the shit that I do. And I definitely don't look down on anyone who's in a trade, anyone who even just a regular 9-to-5 nigga. If you're good at what you do, I would never look down on that. People ask me for advice on email and I really don't have time to reply in depth, but I just say, don't do music, don't do film, don't do this shit that you're dabbling in unless you want to put in, thousands of hours to getting actually competent at it, which most people don't want to do. That's critically important, man. But this is something that you have to do. If you're a man, if you're going to, forge your way in this world that is competitive, and it's more competitive than you would imagine it to be if you're still in that phase where you're living with your parents and sort of just skating by, just doing whatever, playing vidya or whatever. But you have to get fucking good at something. And like what that is, I'm less qualified to answer that. I think for most people it's definitely not a creative thing. I really don't recommend people do music or film unless you really fucking have to do it. I really don't think that's a good way to go. You got to develop some kind of competency, some kind of skill, something that makes you valuable, and something that you can have pride in. Like you can legitimately have pride in a trade, like obviously, much more so than somebody who's like just fucking around in Fruity Loops and like wasting time in Photoshop. Like I made a cool illustration today. Like that's nothing, man. You did nothing. I think that might be the most important thing, man. Like above all else, above being a repairman and fixing all the problems in your life, which, you know, everybody has problems. Everybody could be a better version of themselves, like Elliot Hulse says. Everybody has things they can work on, but unless you are developing some kind of competency, unless you're developing a skill, everything else just is kind of a waste of time. If you're not totally fucked up and totally lost, and you're just like a regular dude, then you gotta develop a skill, and you gotta get really good at it. All right, y'all. Let's buckle down. Let's get down to brass tacks. Let's actually divulge some information here. What is the most important red pill alpha secret? Is it to be anti-gun control? Is it to totally eschew women and relegate yourself to a life of porn? Is it to be just red pilled on everything? These are all important things. You've seen me talk about them. You know how I feel about these various red pills. I'm munching on red pills all day. I'm taking red pills left and right, all right? I'm sucking them down. Let's walk down this way. This is where I'm gonna tell them what the most important thing is, down here. So, in my humble opinion, okay, do your own research. Take this with a grain of salt. I don't know what I'm talking about. Rich? Yes. Drives a cool truck? Sure. Take this with a grain of salt, okay? I'm just a guy, I'm a YouTuber. I don't know what I'm talking about. Or maybe I do. But ask your dad. Ask your grandparents. Ask some male figure in your life to back this up. Or negate this advice. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm a little beta cuck pussy. Okay? And I'm sucking on blue pills all day. The most important thing, in my opinion, take this with a grain of salt. Don't be mad at me, it's just advice. You can do whatever you want. Is to get good at something. So I think it's plenty important to have well thought out political stances on things. I think it's plenty important to know about divorce rape, to know about the realities of biology, to know about what a bitch will do to you once she gets her claws in. I think it's well important to have fun playing video games, to have an active imagination, to have all kinds of hobbies and fun things and good little thoughts and things like that. It is my opinion that none of that shit matters if you are unskilled, if you do not have something that you are good at. Get good at whatever it is, welding, plumbing, car sales, doesn't matter. Develop some type of skill. Develop something that is a benefit to other people, that gives you self-confidence, that makes you a worthwhile person. It's pathetic to see somebody who has no skills. And if it's a woman, they get a pass, but if you really think about it, it's even more pathetic to skate by life just not knowing how to do anything. In young men, because boys and young men they tend to expect things to be taken care of for them. They don't have skills, they don't have the ability to take care of themselves or other people. And so there's like that transition going from boyhood and adolescence to adulthood, and having your role in the world totally change is very difficult for a lot of people, and I think that's why a lot of people get caught up in like collecting Funko Pop dolls and playing games and doing very regressive type shit, is because they really want to hold on to that lack of responsibility. They want to hold on to that until they're 45 fucking years old. That's my main point, is you have to step out of that comfort zone. You can't be content with that life of ease, because it's a dead end road. It leads to you becoming a worthless person, like really. Oh yeah, we were just looking at people's Steam profiles and seeing how much time people we know had logged in games. 500 hours in Left 4 Dead. This one dude we looked up had about 5,000 hours buried across various games. Think about that, 5,000 hours, right? I mean, that's time you could use to really make some serious progress towards really whatever you want. And it's really a fucking tragedy to burn that kind of time on something that's not going to pay you back. As you get older, I'm starting to experience this now, but there definitely is a level of intelligence crystallization that happens, a level of solidification in the brain. And I don't care what anybody else says about how you can learn it's never too late to learn a skill, or you can go back to college at age 40 and totally change your life and pick something up and just, make a new life for yourself. That's complete fucking bullshit. By the time you hit your late 20s, by the time you're in your 30s, and definitely in your mid 30s, who you are as a person, usually your opinions, definitely your skill set, these things are all solidified. That's done. By the time you're 29, 28, forget about learning a new skill. It's not going to happen. All right, I'm sorry to tell you this. Maybe you could get a hobby level. Maybe you learn how to press flowers. Your ability to learn something at a level where it's professional, semi-professional, worth money to somebody else, able to use it to do something significant, not going to happen. You're done. This is a core component of what it means to be a man, is having aptitude, having the ability to do something, to make a mark on the world, to make money, to protect the people around you, to build something. This is all this is not optional for being a man. If you miss this, you are not fully male.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you this. If you make it to age 40 and you've somehow missed this, you should wear panties. Don't anyone get butthurt here about me being an elitist or something and think, oh, Sam thinks he's so much better. I don't think I'm that. I don't think I'm able to produce some decent video content, okay? Can we admit that? And that's not what I'm not telling you to be creative. I usually tell people to do the opposite. If people send me their music, I usually tell them to throw that out and pick something realistic. What I'm saying is, you have to find something that you can develop into a thing. You know what I mean. I use the word thing. You know what I mean by thing. If you can say with confidence, yeah, I'm a fucking good heating system installer. That's miles and leagues better than somebody who's got a level 90 steed in Warcraft. Here's what happens. People are, at no point in your development as a young person are you told this. Really, it's never hammered into your head. I'm sure at some point you might have had a teacher who was like, hey, you kids better wisen up, get good at something. You better learn how to do something. You're pathetic. Pull your pants up. Maybe you had one teacher like that, but this is not something that's hammered into people's heads in the way that it should be. So a lot of people go through K through 12, through high school, and then even through college. And college is the most pathetic fucking part of it all, because there's this grand charade like it's somehow going to turn you into a productive, generative, skilled, talented person, and it does the exact opposite. It just drills total nonsense gibberish into your brain and makes you a fucking retarded idiot. At no point in this entire cycle is there ever a point where you'd be like, maybe I should just get good at something regular and like do something. Fuck! I remembered what I was gonna say. And that's this. So that's if you're looking around your life and it's medium fucked up. Okay? Everything's medium fucked up. Then you should learn a skill. If you look around your life and everything's really fucked up, you might have to start not even with learning a skill. You might have to start with losing weight, getting off drugs, weightlifting, one of those things. My opinion is that you cannot go wrong getting good at weightlifting, okay? And you can't fix all the things that are wrong in your life at once. You're not going to be going to the gym every day and at the same time cutting down on calories and then also getting off drugs and alcohol. Like, you're not that good, all right? You got fucked up in the first place. How do you think you can do all that at the same time? Get good at weightlifting if you're really fucked up. And then weightlifting, what weightlifting does is it is a skill. It's building a skill, and that will like teach you how to learn something. That'll like going through that procedure of getting decent at lifting weights and like learning how to do it and knowing what not to do and everything. That's like training wheels for like figuring out how to do something that has monetary value. That's it. That's my tip of the day. That's what I believe is the most important thing. If you're fucked up, if your life is in shambles, if you're really not enjoying your time on planet Earth, you should probably learn how to do something.